Milestone 4. This is a double check for the UI and its functions. The way I incorporated the UI is that we have a different scene for that. So what we have here is a different scene, and it's a separate scene altogether. What the player will see will be the beginning of the game with a small bit of an introduction, small element of story, as well as what are going to be the controls that the player will have to do or use to be able to play the game. Once they click on the close button, they'll be taken to the main menu. There are 3 different buttons: options, the play button, and refresher. Refresher is simply if the player skimmed through or didn't care about the instructions or anything, they close too quickly, I can come back here for a little refresher. What is that? Options is set up so that the volume can be controlled here, with the master volume controlling both the music and sound. Music will control the music, and sound will control the effect noises as well as the environmental noises. So when they hit play, it will take them immediately into the game, with the character movements and being able to imply a score. The player needs to be able to survive through this endeavor, kill all the enemies, and be able to beat the game. The way to win is if you score 20 points. A neat thing that I've done is if they're somehow able to inflict a lot of damage or do a fancy shot that the enemy won't be expecting, then the player is able to score more points. You just have to be very smart with the AI. Other than that, it will be a score of 1 per kill. And a reminder that every 5 seconds there's going to be a new enemy that's going to spawn until it reaches the maximum number of enemies that are able to summon. Once the player reaches to 20 points, they win the game. If they feel like they're about to die, they can get this health bar. That is what happens when they win the game. They can either play again or they can quit. If they play again, everything resets to its standard position. Because of the script I've written, the game reloads the scene again. Along with a few modifications on the script to be able to reactivate every single mechanic that the player has. And time sets back to its regular stage. If the player takes too much damage, then the lose message will happen, and the same thing will happen. You get two options: retry or quit. We're already seeing what happens when we hit retry. If we quit, it takes them back again to the intro in the main menu scene. I made it so that the health decreases to 0, and I made it so that they only have 1 life. Once they lose everything from the health, they lose the game. Time scales are controlled based on if the player pauses or if they get the win or lose condition. Just a quick refresher on how the pausing works. Press the escape button that is provided to pause the game. Nothing moves. Resume gets back to the action. Another way to resume is press the escape button again. It may seem that the mouse was shown when I did this, but this is fixed immediately once you click back into the game. That is intentional. And don't forget about the health drop. You get recovered health. And that is a refresher for Milestone 4 in the UI section of ParticleKnight.